Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us once again in our educational web series. My name is Michael. I'm a speech-language pathologist with Providence Home Health and Hospice. We are located right here in Wichita, and I love being with a local company because I'm a local boy, and I like knowing what's going on in our community, and I feel we do a very good job of staying on top of that. So today, what I'd like to talk to you about is occupational therapy. I get a lot of questions about what occupational therapy does, who do they serve, and what types of deficits are seen in individuals that are receiving occupational therapy. So today I hope to answer some of those questions. Our occupational therapists are amazing clinicians that work with the aging population to teach them exercises and rehabilitation techniques that will help them to continue with what we call activities of daily living. These activities include things such as bathing, showering, dressing, cooking, and even eating. Things that oftentimes we've taken for granted, and until something happens and we're unable to do it, oftentimes we don't think about it. Our goal is to be proactive. If we can get to these individuals sooner rather than later, we can decrease the chances of them having to go into a higher level of care or higher assistance for activities. So some of the things that occupational therapists assist with are fine motor skills. That's all of this. Using utensils during meals. If you've seen those individuals that have a difficult time maybe getting their meal up to their mouths, those are the individuals that we want to work with. Maybe they have some tremors due to Parkinson's or another neurological disease, and there's all types of amazing adaptive utensils that are available, and these occupational therapists are experts in what they do and how they recommend those. Writing, individuals that have been writing their entire lives and can no longer do so, it can be very depressing. Our occupational therapists have amazing techniques to help these people to continue to express themselves. Knitting or crocheting can be difficult, and then doing puzzles. Think about those tiny jigsaw puzzle pieces. They can be very difficult to manipulate. Strengthening is another thing that occupational therapists will address. Upper body strength is what they really look at. So the arms and everything above the waist. They look at how do individuals get up out of chairs. Do they try to put their hands on the arms and lift themselves up that way as well as using their legs? They look at how they wash their body and their hair. There's nothing worse than not being able to get your hand high enough to wash your hair. Everybody wants to feel clean. Put away the dishes, not one of my favorite tasks, but it's got to be done. However, if it's difficult to do so, people oftentimes neglect doing that. And then we have all kinds of different issues in the house. And then also preventing falls. And we like to do this especially with people using canes and walkers. Our occupational therapists have all kinds of tips and tricks for those individuals so that they can get from point A to point B and do so safely. Some of the things that they may recommend are home modifications. These are generally very inexpensive tips and tricks that you can do within your home. Some of the things that they may come out and recommend when they do their full home evaluation are maybe a walk-in shower or bathtub, handrails or grab bars in the bathroom and in the bathtub, wheelchair ramps, power lift recliners, and thus for those individuals that really have a difficult time getting up out of their chair. Slip-resistant flooring. If you do not at this point have any of that in your bathroom floor and your tub, please look into that. You can get some very inexpensive but very effective non-slip stickers to put onto your bathtub. It will help you stay safe. And then also home monitoring or medical emergency response systems. That's something that I recommend to everyone over the age of 65. I work with a lot of individuals who say, well, I have a cell phone. If I fall, I'll just call somebody. And I ask them, if you wake up at 2:30 in the morning to use the restroom, do you take your cell phone with you? Oftentimes, 99% of the time, they say no. Unfortunately, that's when falls occur, and so that's why we may come out and recommend some type of a emergency response system so that you're safe at all times. And then we also work with vision loss. Our occupational therapists are trained to help individuals with vision loss so that they can continue to live the type of life that they have lived despite the loss of their vision. Some things that they may suggest would be removing clutter. Oftentimes clutter can pose as a trip hazard. Using color-coded tags to identify objects. There are different colors on the color scale that individuals that have vision loss can still see, and our trained professionals will come out and really evaluate what's going to work best for you in that situation. They may ask that you add more lighting or contrasting to the home. Maybe placing magnifiers in the home and around different places. Placing bright stickers on important buttons such as the microwave or the oven. I've worked with individuals that stopped eating properly because they couldn't use what was in their home. That's the last thing that we want for anyone. Maybe they'll say paint a wall a light color so that they're easy to locate, or label the medication with large print. Perhaps they say color coding your medications will help so that you can continue to manage them on your own and independently. Or even just placing bright tape on a step, something that you can see that you might not have been able to otherwise. Finally, our clinicians will work with caregivers to be sure that there is carryover and make sure they're educated and trained to assist with individuals after we've discharged. These may be family members, friends, or caregivers such as CNAs, certified nursing assistants, medication aides, or nurses in some of the communities that we work in. Our job as clinicians is to educate, make sure that our education is understood, and allow individuals to continue to progress through home exercise programs even after we've discharged. If you, a loved one, or a friend are having any difficulty with any of the activities that we discussed earlier, please don't hesitate. Reach out now on our Facebook or give us a call at 316-558-5956, and we'll work with you to set up a time that a clinician can come out and do a full evaluation when it's convenient for you. And again, as always, I like to make sure everyone knows that home health services are generally paid for at 100%, meaning there's no out-of-pocket cost to you. So please don't hesitate. We want to be proactive and not reactive. Let's get to the bottom of the problem and solve it before something worse happens. Thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to hearing from you, and stay healthy out there.